Friends, we have a fun activity that we'd like to share with you from our theme wheel. It is the Chinese Zodiac puzzle calendar.
Yes, that's right.
So let's dig right into that. Our members have been exploring this calendar, which is awesome. I don't know if you were able to.
I didn't bring any photos over, but we can post some over on
That's
Instagram.
okay.
So for those of you on Instagram, or those of you who are not on Instagram, head on over to our Instagram account and you can follow us, and we'll have some stuff there, I
You
think.
want to do a little overhead?
Absolutely.
Okay. And I'll kind of give our friends a little peek into wheel at the same time. So to give context, this is from our current theme of wheel, which our members are doing right now in our membership community in the complete curriculum. They are integrating these lessons in with the foundational lessons as well through our card system. All right, and we can talk more about that later. But inside wheel, we actually have cards to kind of guide from week to week. And let's see where this one is on, the Chinese Zodiac puzzle.
It's actually this week. This is week 3.
It is actually in
So if you're
week.
in our membership community and you're following along, you should be in week 3.
Yeah.
And one of the 2 major activities that you'll be doing is this this Chinese Zodiac puzzle.
Right. Okay, so here's the context. So we have been exploring the concept of wheels through a bunch of literature. The kind of books that are in here are about pinwheels and bicycles. The Ferris wheel, as you may have guessed from the cover page. Spinning wheels has been also a little bit of a theme in there. There are some great literature connections. This book, What Do Wheels Do All Day, is super cute.
Yep.
I highly recommend that. If you are studying the Lunar New Year, you might consider the book A Sweet New Year for Wren. I think it's a fairly new book. It looks adorable.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been studying some art as well. We've been making tracks with wheels.
That was a really good one.
An
A lot of
art
the kids
activity?
really like doing that. It's basically you're painting with little cars.
Yeah, and because we're Montessorians, we love to do activities that encourage children to sort. And so here we have an activity that's about sorting things with wheels, whether they are motor powered or human powered. And that one has been really fun to see what our members are doing with. You wanted to
I was going to show that.
and I
Yeah.
grab that
Yeah,
one.
so here's
Yeah.
some examples of
We
these
also
parts
build
cards.
in control of error into our cards.
Yep. So on the back here, you'll have an icon, a little engine to represent,
Is that what that is?
or a foot.
Or a foot. Okay, so human powered, just so that they can self-correct as Montessori does. A lot of our members have been making paper pinwheels, which I also remember doing as a child. It's another fun craft activity you can do with construction paper very, very quickly with what you have already at home. And they've been experimenting with pulleys.
Yeah, now we've seen a bunch of awesome photos. If you are watching this and you're in our community, or and you haven't shared a photo yet of it, I'd love to see them because they are so fun. Basically, you're teaching your child about the simple machine, a pulley, and using a rolling pin. So in our example, we suggest putting the rolling pin between 2 chairs, but I have seen rolling pins or other fulcrum points in all kinds of positions, including someone hung it from the 2nd story of their house. They have kind of like this open design thing, and the kids were raising and lowering their cubbies. It was awesome.
I know. If you've taken our primary course, I told a story about how our kids ran down to the basement and found a pulley and experimented with us. That pulley was bought because it's a really, really great exploration. Rolling pins are an easy way that you can do it at home yourself with just the materials you have.
That's right.
At home. We also do parts of a bicycle, and that is fun. We always include a parts of activity inside our themes.
Yep.
I don't know where that one is. I think it's at the end.
Yeah, because it's a little book.
Yeah, because it's a little book.
So this actually includes several things, including this booklet.
Yeah, little parts of a bicycle.
It's a control book.
And here we get to the Zodiac puzzle calendar lesson.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to get out our materials. Do you want to very briefly kind of read what is needed for that?
Yeah. So you're going to have printed, double-sided, and cut out the Chinese Zodiac puzzle pieces. You're going to use cardstock for longevity if desired. print the control page as well.
I got my scissors over here. Okay, so we've got the puzzle pieces here, and we've also got these, and I cut these out as well.
The yin and the yang, yep. You're going to familiarize yourself with the puzzle, so there's a control up here at the top to make sure you're putting it together correctly, and the correct way to put it together will be in calendar order.
In calendar order,
That's right. 2025 comes before 2026. And then you're going to gather the animal pieces first and present them in the order of starting with rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, etc., etc. Okay.
Okay, now this is the control, so I'm just going to have this on standby, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Now this is meant to be like a puzzle. Now we're kind of cutting a little quickly here. You can cut them on thicker paper or do them.
And this is a really big work. We're not going to be able to do this entire layout here on the table.
Yeah, because we made it as big as we could.
But you'll be able to see kind of where we're going with it. This is really, really fun.
Yeah, so this is the year of the snake.
It is, yeah. I'm cutting out the year of the snake.
Now, for those of you who are in the community, we did not know. So, of course, we always do all the art here to go with the activities. We don't use clip art or pre-made stuff.
That's right.
Unless it's a photo of a real thing, in which case we'll go find a really good photo. But in this case, we created...
By we, you mean you.
Yeah. But in this case, so we drew all these. And if you are in our community, I was actually going to ask if you are in there watching. I was wondering if you guys would like watercolorable versions of these zodiac animals. And if you would, let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the way our community works. For those of you who are wondering, we are very much a community-driven little Montessori publishing small business, right? So that's another reason that we don't just have decided on just a few themes where we have curated everything always ahead of time. We rely heavily on community feedback. You tell us what you want to see in the curriculum, and then we create it.
Yeah.
And the theme of Wheel was requested by a member a while back because their child was just really into cars and trucks and moving vehicles and spinning things. And so this was a direct result of community influence. So we've always worked that way.
Yes.
Inside, our community, which used to be a separate program just called Constellation.
Yep.
Oh, you can see how this is this going to come together really
Yeah, so let's just start with those two. So you would have cut out the whole set. And actually, you're going to cut out not just the wedges.
Let me cut out one of the middle pieces too.
Well, the middle pieces
are
are here.
They are.
Okay.
You're right.
So you're not just going to cut out the wedges.
Like, where are
Who created this thing? You're also going to, you're actually going to cut them further because part of this activity, the reason it's a puzzle, is you're going to match the critter, in this case a rat, with the word rat. And so it's a reading activity. And of course, because each of these pieces will otherwise be identical. Okay.
Right. All right. So the idea is, this whole, and you can see the puzzle all put together, in the control. Ideally, with a puzzle like this, you can, if your child is reading, and they're aware of numbers, obviously, they will be able to kind of figure out, like if this says snake, they'll be able to find the snake. You can read it to them and help them put it together. Mm-hmm. And then you can use your control to check, like, did we do it correctly?
That's
and
right.
You would just start with one and go around and match. This is a really good activity for visual discrimination because kids have to learn, like, how to look at something and then look at something that is, well, this is particularly difficult because it's a completely different size. And there's a lot of pieces in
That's
here.
right.
But just to check for correctness.
Yeah, there's 25 pieces because each of the signs of the zodiac, plus the bottom part of the wedge with the name and the years, and then also the yin and yang symbol.
Yeah. So what would they do first? So
Well, first you're going to introduce and talk about the animals themselves.
So we would just use these as like cards.
That's right. You're going to lay them out. You're going to start with the rat. And and then you're going to go in order from there. So rat, ox, tiger, rabbit.
I think you could start in any order.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you could start in any order. You just have to make sure that you are introducing them individually.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that you could just, basically you're just wanting them to understand like, oh, this is a picture of a snake. And there's a lot of different ways you can go with that. But basically you're just wanting to familiarize them with it. Again, if they're older, there's all kinds of symbolism associated with these, and you can maybe even inspire them to look at it. Well, what does the snake represent in the zodiac? Okay. All right. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to lay them out, and you're going to put them in the order of the zodiac, and you're going to start with the rat. And then next to the rat, you're going to put the ox, and then you're going to put the tiger, and because this will be.
Then you will put them in order.
Yeah, that's right. Now in this case, because we only cut out two, there actually would be the rat would be like over here, and the year of the snake, which is this year, would be over here, and you would just go.
Right?
Yes, that's right. Okay. So then you would just go around, and you would make a whole ring. Okay, and then you're going to take your other pieces, and you're going to start to match them in, right? So here we go.
We're reading the word snake and we're matching it to the snake.
That's right. And then you're going to continue on. And of course, for this example, we only have a second one, but there would be rat. And you could see this is going to be a nice big zodiac. And then, so you're going to show, so you're going to continue assembling until the yin yang symbol is ready to be placed in the center, which you will do. And then you would explain that the yin yang is a symbol of balance. It reminds us that opposites like light and dark or hot and cold can work together to create harmony. That's why it's often part of the Chinese Zodiac calendar. Yeah. And in all of our themes, we include scripted language so that can guide you. But of course, as you were saying before, you don't have to start with the year of the rat. You just you can do it as you wish, as long as you are kind of sticking to the basics. Like you want to introduce this concept and then this concept, and you want them to put them together.
Yeah, it's actually, I think a lot of people stress about Montessori activities when they're not presenting the work perfectly. Yes, you should do a work before you present it to your child so that you're familiar with it and you understand the order yourself. But I think sometimes we devalue the opportunities that can arrive from making mistakes. So you're going to put this, when we put it all out of order, and then when we do our control of error and we check it, we're going to discover, or when we start reading, you're like, okay, this says snake and this is a snake. What? No, it's not. That's the rat. Oh, where did this go?
Oh, I think it's this one.
Yeah, and then you would discover it, right? So that making mistakes is actually not, it's good, so that's where the learning happens, is in the figuring out. So this activity has been very popular in our members with older kids, can do this more or less independently. They're pretty familiar with puzzles. It also it paves the way for opportunities for exploring math.
Yeah, and I was actually going to point out that on the math side, if you look here, because of the way we design this, they get closer and closer to the center as you get further and further. So 2025, this is the current year, would be right here, and it has the furthest out. But there's a control of error built in as well. 2032, the next number is not 2037, right?
Right.
The next number after 2032 would be 2033, or the next number after 2025 would be 2026. And so the numbers themselves will also provide a control of error, aside from the little graphic we have here. And the last thing that I think is pretty fun about this activity is that you can start to do some basic math, or actually it's not even that basic. You could start to do some kind of fun math, like it is the year of the snake in 2025. What year, in 3 years, what will the symbol be? and they're going to then have to count from 2025 plus 3. So 20. So they would say, it's the year of the monkey. Or they could say, when you are 10 years old, what year will it be? Well, it's 2025 and I am 6. So in 4 years I will be 10. So I have to do the division. I have to do the math that says 10 minus my current age is 4. And then I have to add that to the puzzle, to the current year, which is 2025. And then I have to.
Here and you say, would you say I'm 6?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
6. I'm 7. I'm 8. I'm 9. I'm 10.
The year of the rooster.
Right? So you can make it more complicated and involve the math that your child is
You
doing.
can get out
with
the
their
beads if you
and
want.
Subtraction, then you involve that. Otherwise, you just count, like you follow your child wherever your child is in the activity.
And then what I like about what you just did with the counting is that we're showing a one-to-one correspondence, which is an essential part of the math curriculum. Yeah.
Yeah.